Many years ago, in a busy city of Lagos, Nigeria, there lived a young man named Tobi. One evening Tobi sat alone in his modest living room, the dim light from a flickering lamp barely illuminating the crumpled pages of the local newspaper spread before him. Although he claimed to be reading, his eyes darted urgently over the classified ads, hoping for a glimpse of any job vacancy that might match his modest qualifications. For over 6 long months, unemployment had cast a dark cloud over his life, and every day felt like a battle against despair. With each passing headline, his worry deepened, his family's struggles were mounting, and the relentless pressure of poverty weighed heavily on his heart. Frustrated, he slammed the newspaper down on the rickety table. "I'm tired of this dead-end hunt," he muttered under his breath. "Maybe it's time I return to the village, take up farming, at least then I could provide food for the family. This city has turned its back on me." The thought of abandoning his urban life and dreams was bitterly unappealing, yet the desperation in his heart left him with few options. Just as the gloom threatened to engulf him entirely, the shrill ring of his telephone shattered the silence. With a sigh that mingled curiosity and apprehension, Tobi picked up the call. "Good evening, Tobi. Do you recognize my voice?" Came a voice both melodious and distinctly familiar, yet he struggled to place it immediately. "Forgive me, but I can't quite place it. Could you remind me who's speaking?" he asked tentatively, his mind racing through old memories. A playful yet indignant laugh followed. "It's Janet, your ex, yes, the one you thought you'd never hear from again." Tobi's heart jolted in surprise. Janet, whose laughter had once lit up his darkest days, now called him unexpectedly. A whirlwind of old emotions, both tender and painful, surged within him. "Janet, it's really you. I must admit, your voice is like a whisper from the past, a rain shower on a parched day." As memories of their once vibrant romance flooded his mind, Janet's tone turned teasing yet sharp. "I can't believe you almost forgot my voice, Tobi. We shared so much history, didn't we? But time, as you know, waits for no one." Her words cut through him like a bittersweet melody. "I remember it all too well," he replied, a wry smile tugging at his lips even as sorrow weighed upon his spirit. "Your laughter, your passion, even the way you'd insist on our dreams despite the world's cruelty. But tell me, Janet, what brings you calling me after all these years?" There was a brief pause before she continued, her voice adopting a more measured, even commanding tone. "I have news that might change your fortunes, Tobi. I know you've been struggling, and I believe I have an opportunity that could transform your life." Janet's revelation came as a shock. "You see," she explained, "the man I married isn't just any man, he's now the governor of our state. And I, by his side, have become the first lady. Life has taken quite the turn, hasn't it? And with my new status, I have the power to help those I once cared about." Her voice brimmed with a mixture of nostalgia and determination. "I want to offer you a position in my new world, a role as my personal assistant. Imagine this, a steady monthly salary of N2 million, a brand new house, a car for your family, and the chance to be part of lucrative government contracts. I can even arrange for your family to relocate and live comfortably here." Tobi felt his heart pounding with both hope and hesitation. The chance to escape the relentless grip of poverty was irresistible, yet the resurgence of feelings for Janet stirred memories he'd long tried to bury. "I appreciate the offer, Janet," he said slowly, "and I'm honored that you would think of me. I'll need to discuss this with my wife, Fumbi, tonight and get back to you as soon as possible." "Please do," Janet urged, her tone firm. "I need your answer by tomorrow morning. If I don't hear back, I'll assume you've declined, and I won't be waiting." That very night, as the city's hum softened into the background, Tobi sat on the edge of their modest bed with Fumbi. The soft glow of a bedside lamp illuminated Fumbi's worried face as he recounted the call and the unexpected proposal. "What do you think?" he asked, his voice laden with uncertainty. "On one hand, it's a golden opportunity, a chance to work closely with the First Lady herself, with a salary that could finally lift us out of this misery. On the other, it stirs up old memories, and I worry about the complications." Fumbi, a practical and resilient woman who had endured many hardships, fixed him with determined eyes. "Tobi, we've suffered for too long. Every day, I watch you worry about how we'll pay for food or our child's school fees. This opportunity might be our only shot at a better life. You must seize it, even if it means confronting the past." Her words, though harsh, came from a place of raw desperation. "I understand your concerns," she continued, "but remember, you're married. We built this life together, and I can't bear the thought of our family being torn apart. You must be careful, even as you consider this opportunity." Toba's heart wavered between duty and desire, torn by the promise of wealth and the scars of old love. The following morning, with the dawn barely breaking, Tobi made his decision. Despite his inner conflict and the uneasy warnings echoing in his mind, he knew that for Fumbi and their child, this might be the lifeline they desperately needed. With a heavy heart but a steely resolve, he accepted Janet's offer. Soon after, Tobi, along with Fumbi and their young child, embarked on a journey to the state capital, a city of grandeur and promise, where wealth and power intersected. Upon arrival, they were escorted to a brand new house, one that seemed to materialize out of a dream. The house was immaculate, furnished with modern comforts that starkly contrasted their previous life of scarcity. A sleek car awaited them, symbolizing the abrupt shift from despair to opulence. Yet, even as hope rekindled within him, Tobi couldn't shake a lingering unease, a silent warning from the depths of his conscience. Not long after settling into their new residence, a message arrived. Janet's voice rang out over the phone once more, instructing him to be ready. "My driver is coming to pick you up," she said. Within minutes, a luxurious car arrived at their compound, and Tobi found himself whisked away to a secluded mansion hidden within the plush confines of the government-reserved area GRA. This secret abode was a marvel of elegance, walls polished to a mirror-like sheen, a plush red rug that softened every footstep, and an ambiance of wealth and mystery that enveloped every corner. As Tobi stepped into the living room, a chill ran down his spine, not from the air conditioning's cold embrace, but from the realization that he had crossed a threshold into a realm he never imagined. In that space, time seemed to warp. Every gleaming detail, every silent corner, spoke of a power and opulence that was as intoxicating as it was perilous. It was in this secret mansion that Janet awaited him, her beauty undiminished by the passage of time. Dressed impeccably and radiating confidence, she led him through the opulent corridors to a lavishly decorated bedroom. The room, with its soft lighting and plush furnishings, was meant to exude intimacy, but what came next shattered every expectation. "Tobi," Janet began, her tone shifting from warm familiarity to one of urgent desire, "you must understand. This isn't about an ordinary job. I needed you because I've missed you, missed the closeness we once shared. When I left you, it was because you weren't ready for what life demanded. Now that I have wealth and influence, I want you back in my life." She stepped closer, her eyes locking onto his with an intensity that made his heart pound. "Your role here is simple. Every day, you will come here, be available to me, and, if you will, provide the intimacy I have longed for. In return, I promise you a salary of N2 million monthly, contracts that will secure your future, and all the luxuries you can imagine. You will remain with your family, nothing will change there. But in this secret space, you will be mine, my personal assistant in every sense." Toba's blood ran cold. The proposition was not what he had expected, a far cry from the bureaucratic, administrative role he had envisioned. It was a twisted echo of the past, a demand for intimacy and fidelity that defied all that he believed in. "Janet, he began, his voice trembling with a mixture of shock and revulsion. "I'm a married man. I cannot betray Fumbi, no matter the temptations. I came here for a chance at a better life for my family, not to relive old mistakes." Her expression hardened, and the playful undertones of their earlier conversation vanished. "Do not play coy with me, Tobi. I am offering you an opportunity to reclaim what we once had, a chance to feel alive again. If you refuse, I will not hesitate to replace you with someone who understands what I truly desire." Toba's mind reeled as he stumbled out of the secret mansion, his thoughts in chaos. The seductive allure of wealth and a better life was now tainted by a demand that struck at the very core of his morality. As he returned to the modest house that had been provided for his family, the weight of the decision bore down on him. Later that evening, in the quiet sanctuary of his new home, he recounted the harrowing encounter to Fumbi. Her face, illuminated by the soft glow of a bedside lamp, reflected both concern and a stark determination. Why would you even entertain such a proposition? Fumbi demanded, her voice a mixture of anger and hurt. We came here to escape poverty, not to be dragged into scandals of the past. Tobi's heart ached with the burden of his choices. I tried to make sense of it, but it wasn't the job we agreed upon. I cannot, will not, betray our family for a role that compromises my honor. I fear the consequences if this secret ever came to light. Fumbi's eyes flashed with a fierce resolve. Then you must do what is right. If you lose this job, we'll suffer, but if you compromise our integrity, we lose everything. Promise me you'll stand by our values, no matter the cost. In the days that followed, Tobi faced a tumultuous inner battle. The luxurious life that Janet had dangled before him was a siren song, promising security, wealth, and a chance to rewrite his fate. Yet, every time he closed his eyes, he saw the faces of his wife and child, their trust in him a beacon of hope in a dark world. The decision was agonizing, but in the quiet moments before dawn, Tobi resolved that no amount of money or power could justify a betrayal of the vows he had made. With a heavy heart, he called Janet once more. Janet, he said firmly, I cannot accept your offer. I refuse to compromise my honor or my commitment to my family. If you wish to continue, I suggest you find someone else. There was a long pause on the line, and then Janet's voice, laced with a mix of sorrow and fury, replied, so be it. I warned you, Tobi. I will find another, one who does not waver. As the call ended, Tobi felt a strange mix of relief and loss. He knew the road ahead would be fraught with hardship, but he also knew that his integrity was worth more than any sum of money. That night, as he held Fumbi close and watched their child sleep peacefully, he silently vowed that no matter how dire their circumstances, he would never forsake the principles that made him who he was. In a world where the allure of wealth could corrupt even the noblest of hearts, Tobi chose honor over temptation. And though the promise of a luxurious future remained tantalizingly out of reach, he found solace in the knowledge that true wealth was measured not in money, but in the strength of one's character and the love of one's family. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, stay tuned for the part 2. Let's find out what happened to Tobi after he turned down Janet's offer. Please like this video, share your thought about the story on the comment section, and please support my channel by clicking the subscribe button. Bye.